How's it going, guys? Cody, guys, back again, dropping yet another video. Right, guys, earlier today I received a comment from a subscriber called Ruby May about private prisons, right? I dropped her my number, she WhatsApped me, and she just said, look, I'm just keen to know your thoughts and stuff as a former prisoner about private prisons, right? So obviously I was up at Media City at the time, so I said, look, I'll have to do it later. Completely forgot to reply to her, so I'm sorry about that, Ruby. But I actually messaged her back about 5 minutes ago and said, look, I'll do a vlog for you on the subject matter and stuff like that, because I can type it and stuff and everything, but like it's on prison, so why not just do a vlog about it? I can't even tell you guys, my comments have been getting hammered, been getting loads of comments, right, loads of feedback. My subscribers are quickly shooting up and stuff like that. I'm barreling down on 1,900. I only made 1,800 the other day. So grateful to you guys for all your support and stuff. No idea why people watch this channel, to be honest. I am good in small doses. I give myself a headache, so I must give you guys a headache and stuff. But a lot of people message me, oh, I watch you at night, I watch you when I'm in bed, I watch you at work, I watch you when I'm on a toilet. So I don't know, it's just crazy. Like I say, I'm nobody, me, guys, right? And like I say, I'm not an expert on anything, just an expert in my own life, yeah, man. So private prisons, guys, or prisons for profit, as we call them. Now, I don't like the idea of a big corporation, right, making money off prisoners and prisoners' families suffering. But that's exactly what's happening. Now, as you know, I've been in HMP, Her Majesty's Prison, run by Her Majesty's Prison Service. I've also been in private prisons. I've been in like one on 2 occasions, called Forest Bank here in Salford. Now, Forest Bank is run by Sodexo Justice Services. Now, I used to have long debates and stuff with a unit manager called Mr. Shilton, top bloke and stuff, right? He rose through the ranks from blue badge, which is like a normal prison officer, to a red badge, which is like a senior officer, and then he became the unit manager, right? Gentleman, true gentleman. I used to have long debates with him and stuff about, I think it's morally wrong that a big corporation like Sodexo are making money for like prisoners that are in that prison, right? And like I say, they never shut out, and they never shut out because from what my understanding is, they get paid, I can't remember the exact amount, but they get paid per bed that they fill, right? Now, that's an incentive for the courts and stuff to keep sending people down, probation to recall people and stuff. Everyone's getting fat and rich, right, off prisoners suffering, right? Now, the only aim of these corporations, Sodexo Justice Services, G4S, who are not even fit for purpose, right, is simple profit. And when your profit is aimed at, like, comes down on prisoners and stuff, in the quality of the food, on like them being exploited, the working in the prison. You've got prisons guys out there as well. There's private prisons, and this doesn't really get out into the public domain, but private prisons, right, outsource prisoners to external companies whilst working in the prison. And what I mean by that, guys, and I'll break it down for you, is example, right? When I was at Forest Bank, right, I was a cleaner on the wing, yeah. Now, like I say, I was being exploited. I was working 7 days a week for a whopping, wait for it, £11.25. Then they take £1 from me for my telly, right? Now, there was a job that came up on the kiosk. For those that don't know, a kiosk like a computer on the wing that you don't have internet access or anything, but you can book visits, you can deal with your food, you book your food on there, like what you want on your menu and stuff. You can check apps and stuff like that and everything else, right? Now, on the kiosk, right, you can apply for jobs. Now, one of the jobs was working in a call centre, in the prison, in one of the workshops, for £25 a week. Now, it was for an external company. The prisoner didn't get to speak to anyone physically. What would happen? They'd wear a headset. This recorded thing from these customers would be relayed to them. They'd have to type it up or whatever they was doing, right? And then that was that, right? And they got £25 a week working Monday to Friday, probably about, I don't know, 35, 40 hours a week, right? For £25. Now, minimum wage dictates, right, that you'd have to get minimum wage. What is it, like $7.50 or something now? $6.50, $7.50, I don't know, right? So that external company must be paying the prison minimum wage per man, per hour, per week, right? And the prison's only getting 25 nicker. Where's the rest of that money going, folks? Yep, you've guessed it. It's going into the prison's pockets, into the CEOs and the directors of this big corporation and stuff. And I think it's disgusting. Right, when I was working on the wing, right, the salt and pepper that we used to put on a table had Sodexo on it, right? So it's 100% profit for them, right? Like I say, yes, they're paying their officers and stuff, but you've got to think about these third party like contracts with the government and stuff for them to run prisons. You shouldn't be able to rule prisoners' lives where it comes down to margins and profit margins, right? Because obviously the aim, you're not going to want to pay stupid amounts for the quality of the food for prisoners, are you? So what happens? The margins get shorter and shorter each year, and it cuts manpower, so there's not enough officers on the wing. The food quality that we've got to deal with and stuff. Like I say, if they employed cleaners, if we didn't work in prisons, right, as cleaners, right? Now, we knew we was being exploited, but it was better than me locked up in your cell. When the food came over and we went to get the food trolleys, we'd eat first. We'd get the best dibs on the food, right? It got me out of my cell. It kept me focused. It would have helped me for my tag or things like that, right? But the point is, you're being exploited, right? If we didn't clean in prison, what would happen? They'd have to employ cleaners, which happens down the main. I was on the induction wing. I was a cleaner. We work 7 days a week. On the main, they only work Monday to Friday, and I believe that cleaning contractors came in on a Saturday and a Sunday to clean their wings, right? To hoover, to mop and stuff like that, and sweep, yeah. Now, like I say, if prisoners didn't work in prisons, you've got workshops, guys, where prisoners are filling in cartridges, or they're breaking computers down, or they're being gym orderlies, or they're working in the shop, or they're doing the gardens or something like that. We're being exploited as prisoners, guys. And like I say, it's all about max, because obviously £11.25 a week in prison, right? The wages that you can earn are like, I think £7.50, £10, £12, £11.25 I got, 15 for the wing painter, 18, 20, 25, and I think the maximum was 27 or 30, right? But 27, £30 a week, yeah. If you're working 30 hours a week, that's £1 an hour. You know what I'm saying? I was getting less than that. And like I say, it goes on that way. But guys, when you go on visits, right, to see your loved one in prison, yeah, you travel there. It's so expensive to support someone in prison. So you get the petrol to get there, right? Then you're taking 10, 15, 20 pound up on the visit, yeah, right? You're having sandwiches. Your fellas out, you're buying sandwiches for you. You're buying fellas for your sandwiches for your fellow. You're buying drinks. You're buying sweets. You're buying chocolate. Whatever you're doing, right? And you'll get like the cheapest bread you can get, with a piece of wafer thin ham, right? And that sandwich can retail at like $2.50 in a prison, right? The loaf, it was probably mass produced, cheap, right? Ham, wafer thin ham and bread, and like $2.50 a sarnie, £2 a sandwich, right? And this is the thing, is the cleaning produce, right? The cleaning products, right, within the prison, right? Sodexo have got their own cleaning company within their massive corporation. So they cut out the middleman and are making their own cleaning detergents and stuff like that, and liquids and everything, right? Again, 100% profit. And it's all aimed at profit. And prisoners are at the bottom of the pecking order and shit. And unfortunately, fucking shit rolls downhill. Right, and like I say, the food quality is getting. It used to, a few years ago, I think it was like £2. Now it's down. Then it was down to £1. It's like 80p a prisoner for 3 meals a day. Right, you can't even buy a can of Coke, right, for that price these days. Right, this is the state that we're living in and stuff. So you can imagine the quality of the food. Everything that came onto the wing that was food, right, like the food came over from the kitchens and stuff, right? But we was handing out donuts. The donuts were frozen, right? The best before date, bam, freeze them, give it to these lot. Fucking apples. I was giving out frozen apples, guys, right? This is the reality and stuff. And whilst prisoners at the bottom of the pecking order, right, are suffering, right, these corporations and stuff are laughing all the way to the bank. And prisoners are leaving prisons in body bags. And that's the harsh reality and stuff. But do I think that people earning money where human life is involved, they're earning money off the suffering and misery of prisoners, right? I think it's fucking wrong, and I think it's disgusting. The screws are spot on, right? I'll be honest with you, at Forest Bank, 95% of screws at Forest Bank are spot on, they're decent and stuff like that. But does it sit well with me morally that these people are getting huge whacking wages and laughing all the way to the bank while we're at the bottom of the pecking order? Absolutely not. And it's going to continue and stuff. G4S, I don't know how they've still got contracts, guys, right? They're absolutely shocking, right? And stuff like that. But this is the thing. It's all money, money, money and stuff. I'd love to know how much these golden handshakes that are going on behind the scenes are worth and stuff. Because obviously, someone's having it off royal, aren't they? Right? Everyone's lining each other's pockets. The Ministry of Justice, the private prisons and stuff. Her Majesty's prison, I was just 23 hour lockup and just thrown away the key sort of thing. But like I say, if you look at America, some of the richest people in America, right, that are at the top of these big corporations and stuff, are running private prisons over in the States. And like I say, getting fat and rich off prisoners suffering, mental health, because obviously mental health's a huge thing within prisons and stuff, the suffering, the death and the despair. And all these big corporations have got, these big directors, these big faceless corporations, they've all got pound signs in their eyes, right? And like I say, prisoners are being exploited in prisons up and down the country and around the world, right? I don't know about private prisons in other countries. I know about the States. I read a bit about the States and stuff. And the private prison system here in the UK, guys, they privatised the probation service to an extent. Has it brought down reoffending rates? No. Are people getting fat and rich and stuff? The criminal justice system, guys, as a whole, is very, very lucrative and stuff, because you've got to think police, prison officers, prisons, these big corporations with these contracts and stuff, these third-party contracts, but ruling the roost over prisoners whilst getting fat and rich, right? And then, like I say, they're cutting out the middleman, so the cleaning products are all theirs, what they're making. The salt and pepper, down to the salt and pepper, right, was from Sodexo. It said Sodexo on the packet, right? And then we're working around the prison, right? Whether you're an orderly, whether you're working on the wing, whether you're working in the kitchens, whether you're working in the workshops, whether you're working for an external company whilst, like I say, the prison are exploiting you and you're getting fat and rich off you. It's absolutely wrong, guys. And up and down prisons, right? The amount of prison systems different, guys. Like I say, if you're in one prison, you might have one experience. If you're in another prison, you'll have another experience. But like I say, the amount of people that contact me stating about, oh, yeah, the prison I was in was outsourcing. We was making meals and then they was going to this food outlet or to that food outlet, right? And like I say, everyone just keeps, everyone keeps it hush-hush, don't they? Because apart from the prisoners, who cares what we think, because we're off the radar. We're not on the government's agenda, are we? And like I say, it means that we're open to be exploited and stuff. But like I say, what do you guys think? I'm interested to know what you guys think about fat corporations, right, that are getting fat and rich off prisoners and prisoners' families, because obviously you're talking down to the phone credit, right? You're talking down to email a prisoner. You're talking about food on visits. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about the food that if you send a postal order in or a secure PTS payment for your loved one in prison, they're buying toiletries, they're buying shower gels, they're buying food and stuff off this canteen. And it's well known, obviously, the more you buy, these prisons, they buy in bulk, because the more you buy, the cheaper it is. And then they put the price up. And like I say, so they are absolutely smashing it, right? And it's as simple as that, guys. And like I say, morally, it doesn't sit right with me, because I think it's fucking wrong. But again, who cares what we think, because we're prisoners and no one really cares what we think and stuff. But it knocks me sick that these corporations, these companies are laughing all the way to the bank, yeah? And you've got prisoners' families going to the mortuary, right, and burying their sons and their daughters, because we've got female prisoners, right, up and down this country, from Cat A's to Cat D prisons, yeah? And it's as simple as that, guys. And like I say, is it gonna abate? Is it gonna stop? Is there going to be moral outrage about this? No, because the criminal justice system is very lucrative for all involved. The only people who pay the price are the prisoners, both in time and obviously financially, because like I say, supporting someone in prison and stuff, it's very expensive to do that, for the visits, for a month, for a week, for a year. It's very expensive to support somebody in prison. They're ringing you off, like everyone's got mobiles now, but people ringing you off payphones and stuff, it's expensive, right? The food that you're buying on visits is marked up X amount. The money you're sending for your loved one in prison, they're spending it on the phone, they're spending it on toiletries and things like that, on the canteen. Who's in charge of the canteen? They buy it from like companies like DHL, right? But the more you buy, the cheaper it is. And like I say, it's all this loot. Oh, it drives me insane, guys. It really, really does. But I'm going to stop waffling, guys, because I feel like I'm going over the same points over and over again. So let me know what you guys think about in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe. Speak to y'all soon. Hope this answers your video for your Ruby May anyway. Take care, babe. Speak to you later.